Now. Let's go, baby. I submitted quite a few questions. Maybe not on the right platform for me. It's Claire. Did you submit questions for me? Where did you submit the questions? I haven't seen any questions here on TikTok Live, Claire, so I apologize. But yeah, if you have questions, fire away. I'm here to answer all your questions. Here we go. Here's the first question I see. Can you take it with ADHD stimulants? So Claire, I can't give you specific medical advice, but I can tell you there are no contraindications to taking, ADHD medications alongside GLP-1 meds. So let me know if there's any other questions that I missed, Claire. North Florida on the East Coast, closer to Jacksonville. Gotcha. Refined Darkness, Canada, original weight 330, currently 270, 100 pounds left to lose. Fantastic. Good job. That's a great start. You lost 60 pounds. On Ozempic, just continuing to learn. Well, I have a lot to teach. I have a lot of information. I think that there's a lot to understand about these medications. There's a lot to consider with these medications. I think they're the greatest tool that we've ever had, but there is a dark side. We have to understand that these medications are a tool, and they're not the long-term answer. They're a powerful tool, but they're not the long-term solution. So I think that the most powerful thing when you're using semaglutide, when you're using tirzepatide, is to get the other categories of lifestyle in. Weightlifting, nutrition. Nutrition means eat less processed foods, eat less carbohydrates. Still want carbs. I just don't want you to eat as much. Getting a solid resistance training program, fasting, lots of fasting. This is the dark horse. Fasting is the thing that a lot of people are still so confused about. So we can talk about all of that. But getting the fasting in, getting a good supplement protocol so that you can address and prevent any micronutrient deficiencies. And then optimizing your stress, optimizing your sleep. That's it, guys. Those are the pillars to lasting weight loss. And I think you will be much more happy with your results if you get these basics in. You will be much more pleased with the results if you cover your basis. And this is where I can help you fill in the gaps with the coaching and all of this. Mezer started Ozempic 2 days ago. And last night I got my monthly not due. I finished 16 days ago. Sorry, Mezer, I'm not following with what you're saying. Started Ozempic 2 days ago. Yeah, I'm totally not tracking with what you're saying, Mezer. It's Claire. Going from lean 155 and want to be 135, very lean. Is it okay for fitter people too? I use it, Claire, and I have 12% body fat. So I use smaller doses, and I use it as a tool. You absolutely can lose muscle mass in any situation where you're in a caloric deficit. So these medications do not cause muscle mass loss directly. People that are losing dramatic amounts of muscle mass on these medications, they're not lifting weights and they're not consuming adequate protein. Those are the biggest drivers of rapid muscle mass loss. What supplements should we use? I like getting the basics in. Like, we keep it simple here. We don't need to confuse. We don't need to make it any more confusing for ourselves, right? Get the basics in. What are the basics? The basics are getting magnesium, vitamin D, essential fatty acids, a good broad spectrum multivitamin, multi-B vitamin complex. These are the basics. And if you have an autoimmune disease, or if you have some sort of inflammatory condition, then I think getting in the other what I call semi-essential is curcumin and resveratrol. She got her period after starting the meds, and it wasn't supposed to get it for 2 weeks. Gotcha. Okay. I thought her message was something to that, but I don't want to misassume, and guess and be wrong. So, some women could have changes. I've seen reports of that. I would definitely let your prescriber know. I wouldn't freak out about that happening per se, but when you couple things to keep in mind. When you drop body fat, you do release stored hormones, stored estrogen, so that can mess with your cycle as a female. The other thing is, in a good way, when you reduce insulin resistance, you are positively impacting your sex hormones. So if you positively impact your sex hormones, that could change your cycle. Changing it that much, though, is a pretty big swing. So I would definitely talk to your prescriber. I took Ozempic for the first time, received my monthly. Oh, yes. So we talked about that. For swelling, what did you suggest? What kind of swelling, Bella? We haven't talked about swelling yet. No, we didn't talk about resveratrol. I was saying resveratrol. Curcumin and resveratrol is a powerful combination of anti-inflammation. Very, very potent anti-inflammation combination. Great for autoimmune diseases. Cheryl, what is the last supplement you listed? Yes, resveratrol and curcumin, in my opinion, is the most potent combination of supplements to support autoimmune disease and inflammation. Now, what's more powerful than that, honestly, if you have an inflammatory condition, the most potent combination for autoimmune disease, guys, is low-dose naltrexone. So if you have an autoimmune disease, you need to know about low-dose naltrexone. You should probably consider being on low-dose naltrexone. Low-dose naltrexone is very, very powerful. It helps to modulate the immune system and reduce inflammation levels. Very, very powerful. Nikki Halo, been on Mounjaro for over a year. Do we wean off slowly? Oh, I love this question. Nikki, you have no idea how much I love this question. So depending on who you talk to, right, there's many different schools of thought, So, I'm the biggest fan of holistic approaches, natural approaches, supporting the body, getting our body to be more resilient. So I always prefer leaning on the medication, leaning on your body, leaning on your health, and leaning less on the medication. So to me, that's what everybody that's what everybody, well, in my group, that's what we're all about, right? I think truthfully, it's scary, right? It's scary to think that, you're dependent upon this medication. So you, if you focus on the strategies that I'm teaching you, right, the strategies that we're talking about, these are challenging in the beginning. And this is why I think we need the medication. This is why I think we need the help. But if we look at the help that we get in the beginning, then I think we can go somewhere. Then I think we have a real shot of long-term success. Do people experience insomnia on semaglutide? Generally, no. That's not a side effect that I've ever heard of, or something that's reported. So, yeah, I haven't seen or heard of too many people struggling with that. What's the longest someone could stay on a 2.5 dose? Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's qualified to answer that question. I mean, these medications are FDA approved. And so that means many people think that these medications are safe long-term. Do I think it's safe for somebody to, do I think it's safe for somebody to stay on these medications longer than they need to? No, I don't. I don't think any medications should be adhered to longer than they need to, right? As more and more data comes out, as more and more research comes out, I find that more individuals can have success relying on their body, relying on their health, than they can on the med if they get these basics in, right? Getting these basics in, I think, are very, very important. So Bonita, I achieved my lasting weight loss before these medications ever came out. So I use them very cyclically, just here and there, short terms to help me get even leaner. But I don't use them long term. I'm not in any sort of weight loss protocol. Yeah, Nikki, I agree. I think in the beginning, I think these are very powerful. I think in the beginning, these can make a big, big deal. They can make a big improvement. But now that you've lost the weight, now that you have made improvements, now you need to start playing with the idea of, well, do I need them, right? And obviously, I'm biased. I think you should be in my coaching programs. I think you should be in my community, because this is what we can guide you on. This is what we can teach you on. I looked up resveratrol and curcumin. Which one do you recommend? And the doses, please. Yeah, so curcumin and resveratrol. Curcumin is the active ingredient in Tirzepatide. I think that if you guys want, just shoot a text message to this phone number, 720-465-1200. We could send you the protocols. We can send you direct links to purchase the supplements too as well. What's a safe weekly average weight loss on Mounjaro? I think around 1% of your body weight per week. I think 1% of your body weight loss per week is a good rate. I think 1% per week is fantastic. Yeah, Bonita, my book that's available on Amazon. I talk about my history, my weight loss struggles. The entire history is all there. It really has been an interesting path that I've been on. Yeah, Melissa, I'm super excited for you. I'm super excited. And we got you covered. Jay, I don't think I have a mental satiety level, only physical. Um, what do you mean by that, Jay? Can you elaborate? I don't want to misunderstand you. 1% of body weight per week. It wouldn't matter whether we're talking about well, I guess it would. So 1%, assuming we're in pounds, right? So 1% of body weight in pounds per week, I think is good. So 0.4, kilo a week, I think is good. But if we're talking about pounds, 1% of body weight per week, I'm comfortable with. Can you prescribe the medication if you live in Canada? We cannot. We can coach you, we can guide you, we can support you. We just can't prescribe and ship the medications out there. Absolutely. Thumbs up from Margarita. Thumbs up from Famous Amos. Is collagen helpful in weight loss? I think collagen's good all around. I wouldn't say that collagen is going to support weight loss more, but I think collagen is great for hair, skin, and nails. You're welcome, Melissa. Super excited to get you into the coaching program and help get you to the next level. Jay, I never feel full mentally, only from stomach being physically full. Gotcha. Okay, I hear you, Jay. Yes, this is exactly the sort of thing that these medications can help with. This is exactly what this medication does. Is it helps up here. It helps with the mental component, right? The mental component is such a big deal. And so these medications absolutely help with that. AD, hey, AD, fantastic. Super excited for you, AD. I know that you've been on a few of my lives. And I'm super pumped. Do me a favor, when you're on the first coaching Zoom with me, just remind me that this was 80 from, is that, if your real name's 80, great, but let me know when we're on the first Zoom that, because I'll remember your little TikTok picture. ID, okay, cool. Dwayne, I must have missed the first part of your message, Dwayne. If you want to put your full question back, I'll get it going. Nikki, so I've seen you here before. Is there a website? How do you start? Yes, the best way to start, guys, this is the phone number that goes directly to my team. They're actually working as we speak. So they can get you scheduled for a consultation. You can try calling them. If they answer, great. If they don't answer, then I would just give them a text message and coordinate a time. Fresh turmeric powder, or is there a difference? Yeah, there's a difference, Dwayne. Don't get me wrong. Fresh turmeric is phenomenal for you, and you should do that as much as you can. But supplementing with curcumin is very different. Supplementing with curcumin is very different, and so you just won't get enough. Curcumin is the active ingredient in fresh turmeric. How can we deal with the symptoms of body aches on GLP-1 medications? You really shouldn't be getting body aches, F. That's usually the I see people feel less achy and their body feels a lot better. That's really rare. I haven't really seen that happen much at all. Um, I did you just start the medication and that started right away, or did your body get achy later on? Because you could get an achy body if your metabolism starts to downregulate. If you guys just hopped into the live, welcome, welcome. So my name is Dr. Jones. We're just chit-chatting about lasting weight loss. Here to answer all your questions. I'll probably be ending pretty soon. Depending on the numbers here, how many people still have questions? I'm probably still going to answer questions, but I might end soon, and then I'll be back tonight and tomorrow. But how can we deal with symptoms of body aches on? We talked about that. So yeah, I'm curious, F, if that started later on, or has that been ongoing for a while? Let me know. Anxiety. My stomach is my major problem, especially when I'm on the treadmill. Well, the good news is you don't have to do treadmill. The good news is weightlifting is hands down the most important form of exercise. Resistance training, weightlifting is the biggest deal. Yeah, absolutely, Melissa. I'm super excited. Thoughts on a water fast? Fasting is a big piece of my program, although it doesn't have to be a water fast. Take your supplements, take all of your micronutrients, coffee, tea, whatever it takes. Does not have to be a water fast. What does GLP-1 stand for? Glucagon-like peptide. And specifically, there are receptors in our body. There's GLP-1 receptors. There's also GIP. And that's why I like Tirzepatide better, because it hits both set of receptors. Susan, what does the gold peptide do? I'm not familiar, Susan, with any gold peptide. I apologize. Thank you. Most workout people say fasting is bad, but when we are meant to eat all day. Yeah. Valentina, tell that to our ancestors. Do you think our ancestors were nibbling on food all throughout the day? For 3 million years, human beings have never had steady states of food supply. We never had steady states of food supply until 10,000 years ago. So nibbling on food all day just doesn't even make sense in our DNA. Human beings were not meant to nibble all day. Now, some people will feel better when they eat small meals throughout the day. That doesn't mean it's better for their body. And this is where it gets really confusing. Some people feel better because they literally have lost the ability to fast. Their body doesn't know how to run off of its own fat. Why the hell do you have body fat on your body, which the function is supposed to be a reserve of energy, if you can't even utilize that reserve of energy when you're not eating? That's supposed to be the function of fat on your body. It's a reserve of fuel. This concept of having to nibble all day would make sense if we didn't store body fat. But we do store body fat, and we're supposed to go tap in and out of those reserves. We're supposed to be able to do that fluidly, easily, smoothly. But people have lost that ability. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's It's amazing what it absolutely can do for your body. Glutamine can absolutely help with sugar cravings. Glutamine is still glutamine's very helpful. Ying, I was trying to get this live going, but it hasn't popped off. So I'm probably gonna. I already told everybody I'm gonna be ending here pretty soon. We did good. We did good today, guys. I had a lot of new people come on. I'm happy that I met some really cool people. I know a lot of people are excited to get started, so that's great. Glutamine is an amino acid. You can purchase glutamine powder. It's very, very cheap. I would do the powder, not the pills. I would do 5 grams up to 3 times a day. Can help with your sugar cravings. Guys, let me give you guys my schedule before I end today's live. Every morning around 6:15, 6:30, I hop on with you guys, go for a walk. This is Mountain Standard Time. And then every evening, I'm on around 7 p.m. Sunday to Thursday. So Sunday to Thursday in the evenings, Monday to Friday in the mornings. And then Friday, Saturday is kind of hit or miss. Sometimes Saturday mornings and Friday afternoons. So before I end my live, this is the phone number where you can reach out to us, shoot us a text message, ask for any of the free resources. If you're ready for some coaching, if you want the prescriptions, you can shoot a text message there that can get you set up. Yeah, super excited to get you guys rolling. Can I fast and still have coffee with creamer? I would not have creamer, Famous Amos. Maybe 1 tablespoon of nut pods creamer, because that is 10 calories of pure fat. Regular creamer is a no-go. You will no longer be fasting. I got one question that I'm going to answer from Facebook here. The more muscle you have, the more protein you have to consume. 1 pound of protein per pound of muscle. 1 gram of protein per pound of muscle. I would agree with that. We didn't have a gym and gear back, so most bodybuilders have to maintain their muscle mass for their goals. So it's a different kettle of fish when they eat all day. You can't compare. Yeah, I think bodybuilders, Liz, is just a whole different category of people compared to your average Joe. So I would agree with you. All right, you guys take care. Have a great day. We'll see you tonight.